My experience in the DRAM business is that the Japanese outspent us, and they were ahead of us because they had started earlier, and they started out on an area that we were not too great at, and that was quality control. They had really perfected some steps in quality control way before the U.S. firms were able to do it. So when we got into competition with them at the 4K and 16K level, the customers complained that our parts weren't quite as good, especially at the 16K level, as far as quality, and they're cheaper. So it wasn't something you're really encouraging you to plow more money back into that when you had other applications, because we were behind the 8 ball. And the market was growing quickly, and they were growing very rapidly, and they had put a lot of money in it.
Let me add on to that with a related follow-on to TED. Those who attended the September 2013 meeting with Ted and Dave House know a little bit about the 1103. This was Intel's flagship product. And once it finally was perfected after the 1102 failed, the 1103 1K DRAM became the industry standard, big volume producer, big home run for Intel. But Intel didn't keep up the momentum. And then in 4K, it was Mostek and other companies. Question for Ted: why did Intel let other semiconductor companies, initially Mostek and other American companies, and later the Japanese, take over such that they exited the semiconductor memory business in the mid-'80s?
I think the main reason is, first of all, Intel got maybe a little spoiled at having very high margins. And so as a product became more like a consumer market, more very cost sensitive, Intel tended to walk away. I mean, I could give you a number, like when we came out with the 8080, we sold those for about $360 each.
Single quantity price.
Single quantity price. Now, it cost about $50 to process a wafer in those days. And we were running 20 die, functional die per wafer.
So huge profit margin.
Do the numbers and think about the margins that represents.
What was the yield in those years? About 30%, 40%?
That's probably about 10%.
Only 10? Wow.
In fact, if you look at Moore's Law, it's really sort of saying you should be shooting at about 10% yield. Because in effect, if you make the chip bigger, your yield drops away very quickly, and the cost of the chip becomes too big. But if you make the chip too small, packaging dominates. So you're trying to shoot for the point where you're putting like a $5 chip in a $1 package.
Okay,
and then selling it for $50.